Well, hello everybody, and welcome to our podcast talking about coaching. If you're watching this, then it probably means you're wondering who the hell are these people and what are they doing. And so I just wanted to, take a few minutes to tell you who we are, because I think it's always good to know who's talking to you and why they're talking to you. I mean, as coaches, you will probably know that we learn more the better the relationship is with our clients. And while you're not our paying clients, but just like you're our audience, and still, when we have a better relationship and you know a little bit about us, by the way, we would know a little bit about you, that would be great. So if you could let us know, that would be an even stronger relationship. And I guess this is why the questions come in, because this is where the podcast really started. Both Siawash and I, we've heard a lot of questions from coaches who recently qualified and also at any point in their development. I work as a coaching supervisor. I've been lecturing at university. I've been running coaching course. I've been the program leader of the MSc Coaching Psychology at the University of East London for 3 years. And so I've been working with coaches for about 7 years now, coaching since 2010. So there's a lot of coaches I've had conversations with, and a lot of the same questions, they keep popping up. So I've had the idea for quite some time to just record some of that, because sometimes you have those conversations with clients and you're like, oh, I wish I would have recorded that, because that is so useful for so many other coaches out there as well. Especially around like niching or marketing, how to get clients, what to do in certain situations when you're coaching clients in a dilemma, or you're getting triggered all over the place. What do I do? Or how do I build a business? Is certification important? You know, these questions, they keep coming up in coaching communities, in supervision sessions, in the classroom, at public speaking events. You know, these things, they matter to a lot of coaches. So I figured, why not create some of these videos where we answer those questions for everybody. And it's not that they always have very clear-cut answers, but I think it's really important to bring some of that stuff out there. And this is where Nikki got involved, because I put the word out and said, hey guys, I want to do this kind of stuff, but I know me on my own, I'm probably not gonna be disciplined enough to put out weekly sessions, and I need some help with this. So this is where Nikki and Siawash stuck their hand up, and it's super great to have you, Nikki, here, because you have a really good visual eye, and most importantly, you're at that stage of your coaching journey, about to be qualified, and thinking about, you know, how do I do this coaching stuff that is perfectly embodying the people who have most of these questions.
Yeah.
You know, and then Siawash is on the other end of the spectrum, so to speak, having done doing a lot of coaching, quite experienced, and also working with a lot of other coaches, hearing a lot of those questions. But I have quite a few of those coaches in my supervision work that are still asking themselves questions.
Yeah.
So while initial episodes are probably more going to cover some of those questions that newly qualified coaches or those who are starting out will have, later episodes will go into a bit more depth about, you know, some of those more complex issues that we meet, not just in the coaching room, but also as coaches navigating through life. So this is a little bit of context about why I wanted to do this and why I'm happy that this is actually taking place now after so much time thinking about it. Thanks for being involved, and yes, perhaps you can just say a few words about who you are and where you're coming from. My name is Yannick, by the way. I think I forgot to say that.
Yeah, shall I carry on? I'm Nikki.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm recently finished at MSc Coaching School. So I've done kind of all the core modules that you'd want to get started with as a coach. And I'm now finishing my work with practice clients, and very much at the beginning of my journey, trying to get out there, recruiting new clients, kind of finding out what my niche is, but with a lot of questions and needing to understand kind of how to market myself, the best kind of platforms to get on as a coach, and so many more questions about different kind of other subjects that tie into coaching, of terms that I hear a lot, like positive psychology, existential coaching, which I know Yannick is a big expert in, Gestalt theory, so lots of things which I know I'm in really good hands, and I'm hoping to learn a lot from these two guys.
Yeah, cool. So Siawash here. Where do I start? So For me, I got into coaching like around 12 years ago. Well, didn't start coaching, but experienced coaching. I was a professional poker player and dropped out of high school at the age of 18, got into poker, and poker was a lot about performance, and I started playing at high stakes, and that's where I started reading more books around mindset and really learning about coaching. And one of the things that kind of like fast forward 3 years ago, I hired my first coach, and it just had a huge impact on me, right? And that's kind of like, so I really see myself like as an accidental coach.
I think it's probably useful for you guys to know where we're coming from in terms of our paradigms. I was lucky enough to be able to study positive psychology when it had just emerged. It's a very new discipline in science, coming out in 1999. I was one of the first who were able to study it at master's level. So I came from university studying psychology and then getting into positive psychology, and then doing a master's in existential coaching. So I'm trying to, I've been combining these big questions around happiness and well-being, optimal human functioning, generally what's right with people. So many meeting points between positive psychology and coaching psychology, hence then finding my way into academia. But I felt there's more complexity and depth, and there's all of this anxiety as part of the human condition, and we all kind of find ourselves suffering even though maybe we shouldn't or maybe we should, but what's that all about? And some of the darker sides of human existence, there's problems, there's challenges, life is hard, and I needed something that would appreciate and acknowledge that. That led me to existentialism and existential coaching, which again I was lucky enough to be one of the first to study that at that kind of level. And so I'm coming from kind of a science background, and then opened up the depth of philosophy, and then just worked with a ton of different people about how do I navigate this life thing, but quite evidence-based because of all the positive psychology, but very much individual, subjective because of the existential philosophy, and how do I relate to myself and other people. So I guess there's quite a broad spectrum of people that I'm working with around the existential and the happiness stuff. Then about half of my clients are probably other coaches in supervision. I do groups, I do individual stuff. I recently combined all of these professional heads of mentoring, elements of counseling, bits of business mentoring, and then the coaching and the supervision under one head. So now I'm kind of going beyond boundaries under the banner of rocket supervision, but then I'm also doing some more traditional coaching stuff and some more traditional supervision stuff. I think you get to know us a little bit more as we keep talking. There's so much to people, right?
Yeah.
Who are you? What a big question. But I felt like I started with why maybe a bit too passionately, and when you mentioned that I thought, maybe I give you a bit of an insight professionally what I've developed out of. Because it's good when you hear stuff that I'm saying that you can put it into a context. Because I think that's important when we relate with teachers, that we know what context are they teaching from, where did their knowledge develop. And so thanks for the reminder. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that, you know what to do. Hit subscribe and send us a question. See you next time.